We beg leave further to assure your Majesty that notwithstanding the sufferings of your loyal colonists during the course of this present controversy, our breasts retain too tender a regard for the kingdom from which we derive our origin to request such a reconciliation as might, in any manner, be inconsistent with her dignity or her welfare. These, related as we are to her, honor and duty, as well as inclination, induce us to support and advance, and the apprehensions that now oppress our hearts with unspeakable grief being once removed, your Majesty will find your faithful subjects on this continent ready and willing at all times, as they have ever been, with their lives and fortunes, to assert and maintain the rights and interests of your Majesty and of our mother country. We therefore beseech your Majesty that your royal authority and influence may be graciously interposed to procure us relief from our afflicting fears and jealousies, occasioned by the system before mentioned, and to settle peace through every part of our dominions, with all humility submitting to your Majesty's wise consideration whether it may not be expedient for facilitating those important purposes that your Majesty be pleased to direct some mode by which the united applications of your faithful colonists to the throne, in pursuance of their common counsels, may be improved into a happy and permanent reconciliation, and that in the meantime measures may be taken for preventing the further destruction of the lives of your Majesty's subjects, and that such statutes as more immediately distress any of your Majesty's colonies may be repealed. For such arrangements as your Majesty's wisdom can form for collecting the united sense of your American people, we are convinced your Majesty would receive such satisfactory proofs of the disposition of the colonists toward their sovereign and parent state, that the wished-for opportunity would soon be restored to them of evincing the sincerity of their professions by every testimony of devotion, becoming the most dutiful subjects and the most affectionate colonists, that your Majesty may enjoy a long and prosperous reign, and that your descendants may govern your dominions with honor to themselves and happiness to their subjects, is our sincere prayer. John Hancock, presiding. New Hampshire, John Langdon, Thomas Cushing. Massachusetts, Samuel Adams, John Adams, Robert Treat Payne. Rhode Island, Stephen Hopkins, Samuel Ward, Eliphalet Dyer. Connecticut, Roger Sherman, Silas Dean. New York, Philip Livingston, James Duane, John Alsop, Francis Lewis, John Jay, Robert Livingston Jr., Lewis Morris, William Floyd, Henry Weissner. New Jersey, William Livingston, John DeHart, Richard Smith. Pennsylvania, John Dickinson, Benjamin Franklin, George Ross, James Wilson, Charles Humphreys, Edward Biddle. Delaware counties, Caesar Rodney, Thomas McKean, George Reed. Maryland, Matthew Tillman, Thomas Johnson Jr., William Paca, Samuel Chase, Thomas Stone. Virginia, Patrick Henry Jr., Richard Henry Lee, Edmund Pendleton, Benjamin Harrison, Thomas Jefferson. North Carolina, William Hooper, Joseph Hughes. South Carolina, Henry Middleton, Thomas Lynch, Christopher Gadsden, John Rutledge, Edward Rutledge.